Guys, now let's proceed and start working on the latest work section. So first, we're going to take care of the header as well as this button. So as you can see right here that this border right here on the bottom is placed on the left, but I wanted it on the mobile side will be placed on the center. So let's take care of the heading first. So go ahead and target the heading and make sure you comment out for the latest work section and the services section. So dot heading h1, going to add a background URL image and the orange border which named heading.png, heading.png no repeat, and the background position for this one is center bottom, and I'm going to add a padding 20 pixel on the bottom. Now see what happens. Now as you can see, it's on place, and for the heading wrapper, as you can see right here, it has a padding on top and bottom 120 pixel. Since it's on mobile, we're going to reduce the padding of 60 pixel on top and bottom. Hit on refresh. Now let's work on and add some spacing for this button right here. Now I just realized also the way we mark it up right here, we place the text center on both columns. And what I wanted is remove this and place it on the heading instead. And for this one, since we're going to align this button to the right, later on, I'm going to add a class here and I'm going to name this control left. I mean control right. So that later on I can target this one and position this button to the right. And also now we can target the control right to have a padding spacing of the button. So I'm going to add a padding for it on top of 60 pixel. And as you can see right there without the padding, it almost had a 20 pixel. So I'm just going to reduce it and change it to 50 pixel. I think now it's on 60 pixel. Now let's take care of the gallery images. So if we're going to style first the image, then you're going to target it gallery inner. If you remember, we wrap it the image in the gallery inner class. So gallery inner image, we're going to set the margin to 0, padding to 0, and the opacity to 0.6. As you can see, the opacity here is 60%. And we're going to add a color on the gallery itself, which have a class of gallery. So gallery, and the background for it will be the color, which is this one. And as you can see, we just filter the image the same as right here. Now let's proceed and work on the caption. So let's style the caption first. Caption H4. Make sure you target the gallery inner. Change the color to white. And for the date, let's target the date. So small. Gallery inner, the caption small. And if you remember, the way I styled this is I changed the opacity to 60%. So the color for this one will be RGBA 2525250.6, and hit on refresh. Now, as I mentioned, that this caption right here will be hide first on the default, and when it's hovered, this will show. So we're going to target the caption so that gallery inner caption, change the opacity to 0 to hide it, and we're going to display this as block level element, as well as we're going to position it absolutely, and for the gallery inner right here, we're going to make this position relative so that this caption will be dependent on this parent, which is gallery inner, which have a position relative. Now let's proceed, and since it's on the bottom, we're going to place it on top. So top 0, and the width for this one will be equal to what gallery inner have, as well as height. And take note that this will be its background color. So copy it. And take note of the RGB. We're going to use RGB and change the opacity. So background, RGBA, 243, then 156, and 18, then 0.9. And let's add a transition when it's hover over, which is we're going to target the opacity. Since it's on 0, when it's hovered, the opacity will turn to 1, which is back to normal, and it will have a little animation is in out. And for the gallery inner hover dot caption, so when they're going to hover on the gallery inner, the caption will show. So opacity 1. Now let's work on the gallery inner. We position it relative. Now we're going to set a width for this one. Since I mentioned earlier that these images right here will be measured by percentage according to what size is the browser is. So 25% on each image. So width for this one is 25%. And let's preview what we have there. Hit on refresh. So gallery inner now to show it, I'm going to duplicate this just 4 times for now. I mean 3 times to show you. And let's float it to left. Let's see what we've done wrong. I position it absolutely, and its parent, which is the gallery inner, position to relative. Maybe I misspelled something. Oh, I just missed a dot right there. So hit on save. And take a look at this. See, it's working. And the other thing we missed there is to add a clear fix on the gallery. since the images now are floated. So with the clearfix class, this will solve the problem right there. And one thing, since we're targeting the mobile side first, I'm going to remove the title as well as the date. So I'm going to go to get bootstrap, switch back to CSS and helper classes, and that title will be visible only on desktop size. So copy this one and add a class on the caption heading that will be visible only on large scale. Now hit on refresh. Now the buttons are the only thing remains. And on the next video, we're going to continue styling everything on latest work section since my time here is running out. So I see you guys on the next one.